to another UPBGE tutorial. And today we're going to go over signals. Basically, how do you get objects to cause behavior in another object through Python code. We're not going to be using nodes. We're not going to be using properties. We're going to be using straight up components. And this is how we do it. So last time I showed you guys how to make a component from scratch. And today, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use a template here. So we're going to create a template, go to templates under UPBGE, go to Python component, and go Python component. And then we're going to give this Python script a name here in the text editor. We'll go ahead and call this signals.py. And then we're going to go ahead and save it. And now in our text editor, we're going to open it. And you'll see here that the component start and update function are already included. There's another one here at the bottom called dispose that you can create. That's not going to autocomplete, so I get rid of this error here. So we got to go ahead and name our component. So we're going to call this class, let's call it sender. So our script will be called signals, and this one will be called send. Let's call it send, signal send. And then we'll go ahead and save it. It's been saved. Then we'll go here and reload it. Now it's called send. All right. Now there's some nice things you'll see here in the template version of a component. It says you can put your arguments here with the in the ordered dict. It doesn't have to be an ordered dict. It can be a regular dictionary now. And we can put and it tells you what each thing does. Self.object is the owner of the object of the component, and self.object.scene is the main scene. So you can use self.object dot and then change anything. So you could do apply movement and then give it stuff, right? That's all great. But today we're going to work on signals. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to select our cube here and we're going to move it up. And we're going to change this color. Let's make it green today. And we'll go to render view. Excellent. Then we'll go ahead and add a plane. And we're going to scale it out. Then we're going to go into edit mode. Box select these 2 points, go extrude on the y-axis, and stretch it out. Good. And then we're going to go ahead and Control A on it, and we're going to apply all transformations. And then because the physics shape right now is based on the origin of the plane, we actually have to move that origin. So we're going to go ahead and do origin to geometry. And now the physics view should match the plane. If we go into render here, we can click on physics visualization, and now the shape of the plane should match the shape of the object in here. So if we press play, you'll see we have a big plane there. So that's good. Excellent. Now what we're going to do, because we're going to want to create an instance of, we're going to create another object. Let's go ahead and copy this cube. We're going to make it, let's make it yellow. Let's make it blue. Oh. Okay, we got to click here to get rid of the instancing, so make sure they're not sharing data. And we'll make this one blue and this one back to green. There we go. Gotta go ahead and raise up on Z-axis. Good. Kind of get close to the floor so it looks like it's on the floor. All right, on our green block, we're going to apply character physics. Like so. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the keyboard to move this character around for this because we want him to collide with this thing and make something happen. The third thing we're going to do is let's go ahead and change the mood lighting here. Let's get this higher up. Let's do that, and let's make them both farther away so it gets a little darker. Use our cursor tool to put something there, and we're going to go ahead and add Suzanne, the monkey, here. Get her into view. And then we're going to go behind our object here. Let's go to view 1. Something like that. I'm going to rotate our view here a little bit. Okay, something like that. And then we're going to go to view, align active camera to view. And we're going to click on our camera, and we're going to use G to move, X to go on the X-axis. We're going to rotate it slightly, so rotate on its Z-axis, something like that. Go X and move it a little bit there. Good. And then we're going to go ahead and parent our camera to the green cube. And we'll go ahead and change the name of the cube to player, because why not? And then we're going to go to the monkey. We'll add a new material. We're going to make it green. Let's make it also blue. And we're going to change this into emission shader and make it blue again. I don't like that. Let's go back to principled. And under principle, we'll go ahead and set emission to blue. And we'll raise it. We're going to change your base color to also blue. Good. Then we're going to actually go to the compositor because we want some mood lighting. We want her to be a light source. So we're going to go into the compositor here. Oh, not the compositor yet. Well, she's already emitting. So yeah, let's go to the compositor. So we'll go to 0 here. And we're going to go here and we're going to go set compositing mode, compositor to camera. Then we'll go to the Compositing tab, click on Use Nodes. And we're going to add a glare node. And we'll set it to bloom. And we're going to turn down the threshold to 0. Then when we go back to our layout and go into, you'll see she's glowing now. And also, if we go ahead and set the compositing view here on this little arrow, change it to always, see that everything's basically glowing. So we need to actually turn that down a little bit. So in threshold, we'll go ahead and raise it a little bit, maybe 0.3, and go back to the view. There, she's glowing, and there's a little bit of light around her, so that's pretty good. All right, now we've done that. Let's go ahead and add some controls to this guy. So we're going to create another component here. So I'll just copy all this. And we'll paste it. And then we're going to name this as player controls. We'll add a single argument to our ordered dict here. Do is active. Now with ordered dict, you have to use a comma instead of a colon. So let's go ahead and just make this a regular dictionary. I don't like ordered dict. Also, ordered dict makes the ordering different depending sometimes on the alphabet of the thing. So let's do just a regular dictionary and do is active. And when you use a regular dictionary, you have to use a colon. And we'll give a type bool. That's good. Then we'll do self dot is active. And we'll set equal to args is active. All right, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all these comments because they're kind of distracting. All right, next. We're going to go ahead and create a function to do the player controls. So we'll do def player movement. Or we'll call it KB for keyboard. KB player movement. And then for arguments, it accepts self because it's inside the class. That makes it inherit everything inside the class. All right, next we're going to do, since we're in a function, we can do local variables that don't need to go outside of this. So we'll do a keyboard function. KBD is equal to bg.logic keyboard. Then we'll do our WASD. So W is equal to bg.events.w key. A is equal to bge.events.a key. S is equal to bg.events.s key. D is equal to bge.events.d Events D key. And then we're going to I actually only care about the W key, so you can do this for all the other ones. So we'll just do one key here because this is about showing you how signals work. So you can always apply this to the other keys. So if W in keyboard dot active inputs, and then we need him to move along the y-axis because that's going to be our forward position right now. So we'll do we need to go ahead and import the player. So let's go ahead and do that. So player is equal to self dot object. Actually, we can just do self dot object. Yeah, let's do that. So if W in keyboard dot active inputs, we'll do self dot object dot world position dot y plus equals, let's try 0.04. And then we got to put this function in our update to call it. So we'll do self dot kb good. We'll save it. And then we'll attach it to this component. We'll attach the component to this object. So we got our player object here. And we'll do add. Oh, let's go ahead and give this yeah, no, that's good. We'll go ahead and give it a player name. Let's go ahead and give it a variable name. So self dot, let's add it up here. Player name, and that's going to be type string. And we'll do self dot player name is equal to args brackets player name. And we'll save it. And then we'll reload our component, or reload our script. Now we'll go add, and we're going to add signals dot player controls. Because signals is down here. It's the name of our script. And then player controls is the name of the component class. And I get an error Y. Line 37. Oh, you got an error on 43. What's going on 43? Oh, we need to put a pass in here. Okay. All right. Save. All right. Let's do We'll turn on is active and we'll set the player name to player. Right, and we'll also go over collision because we're going to collide with this cube to make something happen to the monkey head. All right, next we're going to, it's attached, and we'll go ahead and we got to parent our camera to the player. We're going to do this cheaply. So we'll select the camera, select the player, control click on player to make the player the main focus selection, then go object, parent, object. And now the camera is parented to the player cube. And now if we press P, and I press W, it moves forward. And we still got physics visualization on, so let's turn that off. Let's do it again. There we go. Let's go ahead and make it move a little bit faster. Let's do 0.08. Make him twice as fast. And play. There we go. All right. Next, we're going to take a moment here. All right, next we're going to do our collision. So let's create another component class. So we'll go ahead and copy this one. Paste it. And we're going to name this component collision. And all we care about with this is in the update function. So we're going to do an if statement in the update function. If first we need to do the collision. So we got to import the player into the script. So player is equal to self.object.scene.objects player. And that refers to our player cube here. And that's his name up there. Next, we're going to we got to create a collision variable to detect the collision. So we'll do collision is equal to BG dot types dot all right. So what we need to do here is collision is going to be equal to BG self.object.collide with player. Oh, gotta write that. Player. There we go. And we'll do our if statement. If All right, we do if true. Because if we look at collide here, see it says test of collide and it returns, it's going to return a Boolean here. So if true in collision, going to do self.object.endObject. So when the player collides with this blue cube, it's going to be destroyed and disappear. So we'll do that. So we'll go ahead and test that now. So we got to first apply it to this. So we're going to select our little blue cube here. Go to Python components, go add signals.collision. And I spelled it wrong. Signals.collision. All right, that's attached to the player, to the obstruction here that we're going to destroy, or the switch, or collider, as they say. So we got that on there, and so when this thing is destroyed, it'll disappear. So we can go ahead and test that now. And it disappeared. Awesome. Excellent. So next, what we're going to do is we're now going to have this collider send a signal to the monkey. And we're going to go ahead and change the name of this from send to signal. So it'll be signal.signal when we use it. So the signal is going to be attached to this blue cube because it's going to send the signal to the monkey. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a function inside this component called transmit signal. Parent from self, and for now it's going to be pass. And we're going to create another one called receive signal. That's also going to be pass for now. All right, now we're going to go to the monkey, and we're going to create a class called monkey change color. Or just change color. I think we're only going to need a send signal, so we'll do that. Just a transmit signal. So for class monkey, change colors, we're going to do, or change color here. We'll do args is equal to empty dictionary. Do our start function. Pass. Do our update function. Pass for now. Then above the update function, we're going to create another function called change to red. And what we'll do is we'll do one thing that I want to make sure you do when you use Python in UPBGE in the Blender Game Engine is you want to go to interface and make sure that Python tooltips is checked so you can change values to parts outside of the view panel. So if we go to our monkey and we go to shading tab, see right now the monkey is blue. And we need to see what red is. Well, we know what red is. So inside here, we're going to do red is equal to a list called 255.0.255.0.255. Now what this means is R, G, and B, and alpha. So this is RGBA. And then next, what we're going to do is, if you mouse over the base color here, this emission shader, you'll see that the tool tip is going to be, it's going to tell you that the material is called bpy.data.materials, material.002, no trade node, principled. There's a lot more here. We're going to have to expand this out. Oh, I have to drag from here. Principled BSDF in brackets dot input 0 dot default value. And we know because there's 4 values here that this is basically a list of 4 values. Oh, that's hue saturation. All right. So this is a list of 4 values, red, and it gives you which one is. That's value 0 on list. That's value 1. That's blue. That's alpha. Okay. So red, if we go ahead and choose red, you'll see it's the value's pretty much just red at 1.0. Okay, so they're doing these as float values and not integers. So we got to do 1.0, 0, 0, 0, and then 1.0. All right. So we got red. We'll put this back to blue. So we'll undo to get it back to blue. Good. And then we need to go ahead and get, the monkey is going to have this component, so this will be self.object. So we'll do self dot. Next we'll actually, yeah, go ahead and create a value for this color, this node here. So to do that, we do self dot object dot blender object. That's the same as basically typing in all this BPY, the object, the material, all that stuff, right? So we'll do self.blender object dot active material, which is the top material. If we go back to 3D view real quick, go to materials here. Basically, the top material on this list is the active material. The ones below it would be inactive. So, and you can always use active material set and all these other things to select multiple materials, but we're going to just use active material. Active material dot node tree. Expand this out. Dot. Oh. That was good. There you go. Dot nodes. If we go back to shading, so this is called Principal BSDF. And this color is called Inputs 0. Okay. So we've basically selected this section of the node here. So this base color section, I'm going to say color is equal to go ahead and call it OBJ color just so we don't mess it up with other properties. So OBJ color needs to be equal to self.object.blender.object.activeMaterials.nodetree.nodes principal BDF.inputs 0. And the reason we don't do anything else, like the next thing to do would be default value, but if we want to actually manipulate that, we need it. We need to be able to act on this variable, so we just do input 0. And then we do object color dot default underscore value is equal to red. Let's make sure I got that right. Yes, okay. And then we'll just leave update as pass for now. We're not even going to use update because we're going to use a signal to activate this change to red function. So let's go ahead and save it. And we'll go back to layout view. We're going to select Suzanne the monkey. Go to the Python script, go to add. Oh, we got to reload our script here. Go to add, and we'll do signals.change color. Then up here in the signal function, we're going to go ahead and attach it to our blue cube here. That's our switch. Going to do add signals dot signal with capital S. Okay, it's attached. And now under this signal, we're going to go ahead and add another function that's part of the component called dispose. And then we're going to add when you use dispose, you have to use a try. You have to use try and accept, because if you end the game without colliding with the object, it's going to throw an error. So we'll do try. And then we're going to go ahead and call the function inside Suzanne. Oh no, we're going to go ahead and try, and then we're going to do xmit self.xmit signal. So we're going to send our signal when this, we're going to try transmitting the signal when this collider is destroyed. So and then finally, since we know this error gets thrown when the game ends, we'll just do BGE, we'll just do pass. Okay. All right. Then inside our transmit signal function, we're going to activate the function inside the monkey's components. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up here so it uses a reference. So the name of the function is change to red. So in order to access that, we have to first bring the monkey into the script, or bring Suzanne. It's already named Suzanne. So we'll say monkey is equal to self.object.scene.objects. Suzanne. And then when the signal is, we need to get access to this component. So what we'll do is we'll do we'll go ahead and call it change color. So we'll say C_color is equal to monkey.components. And that has to be a string that matches, so it'll be change color. And then we'll do C color dot, and then it won't show up in your autocomplete, so you have to actually go down here and look at it. It's called change to red. So C color dot change to red. So when this blue square is destroyed, it should change the monkey red. And it's already attached. So we'll go ahead and save it. Go ahead and reload. All right, and then we'll go to our camera. Let's go make this big. And we will press play. Looks like it changed, but something didn't happen. Let's turn off the glare for a sec. Okay, the color changed, but not the emission color, so we have to change that also. So let's get the input value of, so under change to red, we're going to go ahead and do object color, sub.object.blender.object.active.material.nodetree.nodes. Principled VSDF.inputs. And then if we go back to our shading tab and click on Suzanne, we'll see that emission color is called input 27. So this is why you have the tooltips enabled. So input 27. And we have to change this to emit, object emit. So we'll add object emit dot default value. It's equal to red. There we go. Oh, I got a comma. Okay, let's fix that. All right, there we go. Bring it back. And we'll save it. Oh, we got an error somewhere. Oh, this extra crap. Okay. Go back to our layout. Reload. Excellent. Okay. Then if we press play, bam. Now Suzanne is spooky and red. We can run into her. And climb on. Okay. All right. So that's how you do that. That's how you send the signal. So to review, we created a class. We called it signal. It can be called anything you want. We created a function called xmit signal. And what it basically does is it gets the object, it assigns the object in the scene to the variable. We then choose the component that is attached to the object. And then we can run functions, even if they're not an update, we can run the functions right here. Oh, where's the signal here? Okay. We can basically run the function inside our signal function we created, and it'll send it to that object. So that's how you do that, but I think we could do better. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and make a whole bunch of Suzannes. So we'll duplicate her. We're not going to do an instance. We're actually going to make them separate. See, well, first we'll go ahead and do it as instance. So instead of doing Shift D to copy, we'll do Alt D. Which makes them access the same data. Okay, we'll do one more. Trying to make this kind of creepy. There we go. And then, see what happens when we do this. Bam. All right. Yeah, and that's how you do that. You can create an instance and suddenly they'll do that. And then we'll go ahead and turn back on our bloom compositor. And all right. So that's how you send signals to an object. And then once you if you duplicate that object with Alt D, it'll apply it to all of them because they're accessing the same data. And that's it. We'll see you on the next tutorial, and have a great day. Bye.